It was one of those evenings London rarely got wrong, grey, cold, and weeping rain. The streets gleamed under street lamps, slick with drizzle. Headlights blurred like watercolors across wet pavement. Cafes glowed dimly with tired customers warming their hands around cups of overpriced coffee. But Sarah wasn't thinking about any of that. She was thinking about sleep. 12 hours on her feet. 3 code blues. 1 lost baby. She had stopped letting herself cry after shifts, it had become too frequent to grieve everything. Her phone buzzed in her hand as she walked, umbrella tilted against the wind. A message from her roommate. Made pasta. Want me to save some? Sarah replied with one thumb. Don't wait. Just crash. She passed the old bakery on Nelson Street, once a cheerful stop during better, lighter days. Now it was just another forgotten corner. Her steps slowed. Something was lying near the edge of the pavement, half hidden by the shadow of a bench. A brown leather wallet, damp from the rain, just lying there by itself. She almost walked past it. People drop things all the time. Someone else would find it. But then again, what if they didn't? With a sigh, she bent down and picked it up. It was heavier than expected. Soft leather, worn but cared for. Inside were a few bills, some business cards, and a photograph, slightly wrinkled, slightly torn. A woman with kind eyes, hair tucked behind her ear, holding a laughing little boy, maybe 4 years old. His grin was missing 2 teeth, but his joy was whole. Behind the photo was a tiny folded note. If found, please call 0789 XXX. This wallet means the world to me. Tom. There was something deeply human about the handwriting. Uneven. Desperate. She stared at it longer than she meant to. She turned the photo over. Something was faintly written there too. Not in pen, but in pencil, barely visible. August 17th. The last day. The last day of what? She looked around, half expecting someone to be watching her, but the street was quiet except for the whisper of rain. Compelled by something she couldn't name, Sarah dialed the number. It rang once. Twice. Then. Hello? A man's voice, rough, like he'd been running, or crying. Hi. I think I found your wallet. There was a pause. Just rain in the silence. Then a sharp inhale. You did? The voice cracked. Where? Outside Nelson's bakery. I'm nearby. Please, don't move. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Before she could reply, the line cut. Sarah stared at the phone. She hadn't told him her name. Or that she'd called from a different number. How did he know it was her? She shook it off. Fatigue was messing with her brain. She waited under the bakery's old awning, watching cars pass, heart beating louder than the rain. 10 minutes passed. 12. 14. Then she saw him. A man in his mid to late 30s, soaked jacket clinging to him, shoulders hunched like he carried something heavier than the storm. Unshaved. Pale. Haunted eyes. He wasn't walking, he was searching, scanning the shadows until his eyes landed on the wallet in her hand. You must be Sarah. Again, she hadn't told him her name. She nodded, quietly. He stepped forward, took the wallet from her hands like it was a fragile relic. He opened it, eyes falling instantly on the photograph. His breath caught. His shoulders trembled. That's my wife, he said, voice raw. Was. She died in a car accident last year. Sarah didn't speak. That's our son, Jamie. He turned 5 today. We were walking this morning to his birthday party when I must have dropped it. Didn't even realize until later. He paused. I ruined his birthday. Cancelled everything. And then I realized, this was the last photo I ever took of her. His fingers shook as he held the image like it was made of fire. I'm sorry, Sarah whispered. No, he said, meeting her eyes. You didn't just return a wallet. You brought back something, something I thought I'd lost forever. He pulled something else from the wallet. A folded note, weathered and creased at the edges. He unfolded it and began to read. Kindness is the only thing that survives death. Give it freely. She wrote that for me, he said. 2 days before the accident. I carry it everywhere. Her handwriting. Her words. Sarah's breath caught in her throat. That sentence, it was eerily familiar. A patient from months ago, an elderly woman, had whispered almost the same words before dying in her care. But before she could speak, Tom folded the note, tucked it away, and looked back up. She believed in those words more than anything. Something about the way he said it unsettled her. Not the grief, that was real. But, something else. Like he wasn't telling her the full story. Can I buy you a coffee? He asked. It's the least I can do. She hesitated. You look like you've had a long day, he added. Sarah managed a faint smile. Only the longest. The cafe across the street welcomed them with warm light. Inside, the smell of cinnamon rolls and espresso. Tom ordered for both of them, flat white, extra hot. Then came a small voice. Daddy? A little boy in a red dinosaur hoodie peeked around the corner. Chocolate smeared across his cheek. This is Jamie, Tom said. Jamie looked at Sarah with wide eyes. You found Mommy's picture? She nodded. You're like a superhero, he whispered. Sarah laughed, touched despite herself. Maybe just for today. He handed her a slice of birthday cake with a shy grin. Sarah accepted, though her stomach was twisted with something she didn't understand. The three of them sat together. They talked. About loss. About small miracles. About how people come into your life when you need them most. But the more they spoke, the more something gnawed at her. Tom's reactions. His way of looking at her, like he was expecting her. Jamie's comment, Daddy said you'd come. She excused herself to the restroom. And that's when she checked the back of the photograph again. She hadn't imagined it. August 17th. The last day. Today was August 17th. She took out her phone, curiosity overwhelming her. She searched old obituaries, keywords, anything that matched. There it was. Emily Carter, 32. Died in a crash near South Bank on August 17, last year. Survived by husband Thomas Carter and son Jamie. But, another article caught her eye. Local father returns wallet to bakery for 5th year in a row. Tom Carter, whose wife died tragically in 2020, has visited Nelson Street annually on the same date, leaving behind her wallet and note in hope someone kind enough will return it, reigniting his belief in human connection. Sarah stared at the screen, unable to breathe. 2020. This wasn't the first time. Her hands trembled. She returned to the table slowly. Tom was sipping his coffee, watching Jamie draw on a napkin. You've done this before, she said, voice barely above a whisper. He didn't deny it. Every year, he said. Same date. Same street. Same wallet. Why? He looked at her, eyes red. Because every year, someone picks it up. Every year, someone kind. And I see, that the world isn't empty. That she was right. Sarah was stunned. You plant it? No. I let it go. And if someone finds it, it means the world isn't done surprising me. She sat down, unsure whether to feel tricked or moved. But something told her this wasn't just a performance. Tom didn't want money. Or praise. He just needed to believe there were still people who'd stop in the rain for a lost wallet. And tonight, that person had been her. Jamie crawled into his father's lap. "Can we go home now?" Tom smiled. "Yeah, buddy. We can." Before they left, Sarah gave the wallet one last glance. She realized she didn't just find it. It had found her. Epilogue. That night, Sarah couldn't sleep. Not from exhaustion, but from something else. She walked to her desk, pulled open a drawer, and found an old photo of her own. Her brother, lost to cancer at 7. She hadn't looked at it in years. She wrote on the back. September 9th. The last day. Then she folded it. And slipped it into her coat pocket. Just in case someone needed to find it, too.